This is the vlog for July 16th. And believe it or not, it feels a little bit cooler right now than it did last night about this time. Although I couldn't really tell. I went to the pool after I made my vlog last night and it felt amazing. It cooled my core right down and made, well, I thought it was going to make getting to sleep pretty easy. Eventually I did sleep and I slept pretty well, but I sort of laid awake for some time. But today I'm back to work. It was nice to be back. It was nice to see everybody. Just about everybody was there. Only a couple people seemed to be absent. But I'm on a project now that is going to be kind of taxing and a bit stressful, I imagine. It's a big team, and big teams are always sort of difficult to. It's difficult for everybody. Contributions are sort of harder to make noticeable, so it's not the best place to show your work and grow. There's always stuff to do, so you're never bored. And yeah, I just obviously I try not to talk too much about what I do. But suffice to say that I was busy all day. We have a new schedule where we only have 45-minute lunches, but we work a little bit longer each day, but we go home at 3:30 on Fridays, which is pretty great in the scheme of things because traffic at that time of day is fantastically quick. So I'm looking forward to that. But it does mean I have a little less flexibility during my lunch breaks, which were always a time when I enjoyed using my laptop and spending time, writing notes. With the shorter lunch, I think I'm going to go back to trying to make my own sandwiches at work for at least half of the week, which saves money and gives me more time to work if I just want to stay in the break room while I eat. But it doesn't fill me up as much as going out to eat. But then going out to eat isn't very healthy anyway, and filling up isn't necessarily something I need to do, especially considering how big I am. And yeah, I'm wearing a undershirt with a V-neck right now because it's 9 o'clock at night. It got up to 90 degrees today. So how hot should it be? Well, okay, 76 degrees. Just, it doesn't feel like 76. Now that I pan over one, it still says where I live, but 79 degrees, which is what it feels more like. But it's supposed to dip into the 60s this evening, in the middle of the night, and it's going to be just as hot tomorrow. But it's supposed to cool down on Wednesday, and then heat back up next week. Which leads me into my next topic. I am thinking about getting a portable air conditioning unit, which would keep this room very comfortable. And if I can find room for it in my own room, I could just as easily move it into there and set it up and be quite comfortable while I was sleeping at night. The problem, though, really isn't night. It's afternoon and evening. And now that I'm back at work, it's going to be a lot less of a problem because I'll only have a couple hours here, and there'll be the hours where it starts to cool off. I can even feel it starting to cool off through this window. And the other vexing issue with a portable air conditioner is I finally found one that I really like that doesn't actually require being put up next to a window. It can be placed anywhere in the room. And it's available on Amazon with my Amazon Prime discount for free shipping. And it ships within 1 to 3 months. It really is frustrating that in this area, because it only really gets hot for a very brief period of time during the year, usually, it's only this time where we really consider things like portable air conditioning units, which means everyone else is doing the same thing and buying them up very quickly. I was out of work for 2 months, so I didn't have the money to spend on a $500 portable air conditioning unit, and I'm not going to get paid until next week. And I just... So, I've actually talked to my parents. They are also interested in getting an air conditioner. So they're going to go down to Home Depot and talk to somebody that has some knowledge on them, hopefully, and see if they can find one that's suitable. And if they find one that's good, they'll tell me about it, and I can go and try and pick one up. And they even said if they find a really good one, they'll pick up 2, and I'll be able to reimburse them and take one for myself, which would be just delightful. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But yeah, and I just feel like what's going to happen is if I order one online and it's going to take a week or 2 to arrive, then the next week is the week where it will start to cool off. And at this point, I'm so miserable sometimes when I get home and it's so hot that I think if spending $500 is enough to banish the heat for the summer, it would be totally worth it. I know that's not actually how the world works, but it certainly feels like it sometimes. Well, I'm 7 minutes in. I'm sorry if these vlogs aren't nearly as entertaining this week, but it really is. This is one of the hardest times of year for me. I like early summer and I like late summer, but midsummer is just... Ugh. So with that, I bid you adieu, and I'm Eric Spornitz. Tomorrow will be better.